Hello everybody, it's Lillian Suarez. How are you guys? I hope you're fantastic and working on it. I wanted to make this intro video to expand my beginner's year mentorship, which starts in January. I have one that is going on right now. Um, but I have one that begins January 2021, and I've had a lot of inquiries. So I figured, you know what? Just let me make this video that way, and then I can just give it to people in its entirety and not give short answers. Um, my beginner's year mentorship is a new program that I launched this year in 2020, and I have been teaching a year mentorship, but it was a mixture of beginners, intermediates, and advanced. And through feedback from the outside in, from other students, and seeing the progress of the students, I implemented this new program for beginners so that they can start from scratch and they can work at a level that's comfortable for them. Sometimes you do learn a lot when you're in a group that is versatile with beginners, intermediate, and advanced, but sometimes it can be intimidating for some. And so kind of taking your pace and feeling like you can work at the level that you're at is important for many people. So I considered that and I created this program. We work for a whole year together. We meet weekly online on Zoom. And I also have the in-person class here in Chicago. But the online class meets weekly, and every month we have a plan of action sheet. And that plan of action talks about the topic we're talking about or what we're working on for the month, and then it breaks out what we're doing weekly. I feel like it's also important to provide the students with spiritual hygiene tips, such as oil blends for whatever frequency we're working with that month, or clair, or whatever it is we're doing, herbal baths, and also frequency therapy. So they're working on, hertz that is complementing what they're learning. So I kind of put all that together and I call it spiritual hygiene. So suggested spiritual hygiene for the month, your weekly topics, and then of course we have the monthly topic. When you're starting from the beginners, it's very important to, in my eyes, to understand how the physical body reacts to the elevated state of the spirit body. And I believe spiritual hygiene is a wonderful thing to incorporate into your personal life when you're taking this path and choosing to evolve spiritually. Because again, we're using the fluids in our body, and we want to stay in a healthy state to be able to function personally and not feel like this is such a hard task, or we're constantly depleted and we can't handle both. So from the very beginning, we work on the understanding of that in detail, and we expand on that. We go through learning to understand color meetings, to be able to do ribbon readings psychically. We learn what is our psychic space, what is our mediumship space. We learn what are our clairs, which is clear feeling, hearing, seeing, knowing, and how does the power build for each individual student. And again, every individual student is going to ascend in the way that they are to. Not everybody is the same. And I make that very clearly, because sometimes we want to compare ourselves, like, oh my God, that was brilliant. And it could be brilliant, but it's true for that person, but not true for you. So it's very important to stay on task and trust your own journey. When we continue through learning the clairs, after that we learn about our guides. We learn what are our mediumship guides, and we also create something called the bottom line, which is, okay, this is my intention in doing this work, and I'm inviting my guides and my spiritual team in to be with me, and how can we set up a beautiful sacred space for them, giving them a body of water as well, and honoring them and inviting them to be in our life with their power as well. Once we can understand the clairs, once we can understand the guides, on our receiving side, which is, okay, where do we receive, where do we feel it, left, right, front, back, and is that really necessary to be able to do a reading? No, but is it a great focal point? In my opinion, yes, it is. And once we do that, then we move into being able to read mediumistically. So in the beginning, when we're learning the colors and we're learning what is our psychic space and what is our mediumship space, what is the difference, we are tapping into each other's imprints and impressions. And so we begin already to understand what is an impression, what is the auric field, what is the chakra system, because I put you through the chakra prescription. And then for the second half, we're working on understanding our spiritual team, doing a bottom line, and what exactly is a reference library. What is a reference library? How do we expand on what we know, and how do we expand on more so that spirit could come and check it out and give it to us in the best way that they can, to be able to express, right, what they're wanting to say based on their experiences and the expressions of every memory that they're bringing in. So by the end of the beginners, we are able to be able to identify the link with spirit. We're able to understand our clairs, our guides. We're able to have a bottom line intention, and understand how to work with the bottom line, because the bottom line intention continues to grow as you grow. And we are able to understand what is the power of a reading, and how can we be in the power of reading outside of a reading. In other words, how can we commune with spirit even though we don't have someone to read? That's very important, because going into the second year, if people choose to move forward into the advanced year mentorship, at that point we begin to troubleshoot and get into readings that are more difficult to navigate, and acknowledging how to express sensitive situations, and information we're receiving from the visiting spirit in readings. But when we end the beginners, we're understanding how to commune and how the power feels when spirit draws near to us when we lift up our awareness. What exactly is lifting up our awareness? What is the power? Why, is it necessary? Where does it come from? We cover all of that. So there's answers to whatever is happening with the foundation and some of the unfoldment in this thing called mediumship. It's phenomenal, and I do have a private classroom, a private chat, and when the students need sitters, I provide them a place where they can obtain sitters for their practice readings. So if it's someone that's wanting to evolve but not ready to tell their family and do it in person or leave their home, it gives you a nice comfortable space to be able to expand and start to develop and understand what's happening with you. A lot of times people just want to come into a beginners because they're having dreams, or they're feeling spirit, or they lost someone and now they hear them, and they're just wanting to understand. So if you want the understanding, how do you receive information, how to ground, how to shield, how to clear yourself, how to clear your home, how do you pick up from others, and how do you give away your power. It's things that are very, very important. And I try and make sure that I've prepared you to be independent, because once you get into the advance, it's a whole nother world. We're going into a whole nother direction. So I hope that this helps a bit. Again, we meet weekly on Zoom. The classes are recorded. Once you're in the classroom, you're always in the classroom. I will never take out any documents or anything that I provide for you guys there, or any of the recordings. All the information is broken down by units within that group. So everything is pretty user friendly. So if you're someone that does not want to be on Facebook or is not familiar with Facebook, you can still take this course, and I'll email you information, and I'll email you the invite weekly for you to join the class. If you want further details, you can go to Lillian Medium and go under Mentorship, and you can shoot me an email with any questions you might have, or go ahead and begin the application process for the 2021 year mentorship. I hope that you find what you're looking for, even if it's not with me, and that you align yourself with the purpose of your soul in this lifetime. Bye, everybody.